Sell me this pen. A famous line by a famous person featured in a famous movie by a famous celebrity. People mimic this line, this scene often when they talk about sales, right? But here's the catch. The problem is not about selling this pen. Problem is that when this line was told, the way it was told, and the way it was to be solved back then was very different from how it needs to be treated now. This is Harshak Sinha. I'm the CEO and founder of Digity, which is a creative media and tech company working with brands across the globe. Along with that, I'm a well-known educator in the field of branding and marketing, sales, business on social media with over 1 million followers across channels. Let's begin with this journey. Let me take you all 120 years back into the history. The pen still existed, but the question is, was it marketed? Was it branded? What would the pitch be if you would have asked me, sell me this pen? And from there, we'll be traveling back into the present, mapping each significant eras about how a brand would sell a pen. So from here onwards, you are a consumer. 120 years ago, it merely existed to communicate with the masses in the simplest way possible. Through simple images and simple text, because you were not able to have so many options. What would they even do if they brand or market? It was the era of industrial revolution. Fewer players existed and more monopolies were in play. If you would, they just simply focus on, if you need a pen and you need to write, we exist. That was the only motive which they had, because it was a small market of overall, and the more focus was towards production and the supply chain for the product to be available wherever the demand existed, because obviously there were not many players in the market. They wouldn't have hired a salesperson and asked them this question that sell me this pen. Even if they did market something, they only said we exist. And if something more than that, it was to influence you to have that product and tell you that it would make your life easier, or at max, what is the purpose of having a pen. It all revolved around what the product is about. It was overall what and the we exist era. The business that had the production ruled the market. You didn't have a choice. What's so available, nearest and cheapest, you took it. Then again, this overall scenario changed. Economy grew worldwide. Soon there were more consumers and players in the market, and things started to change. Competitors started to enter the market with the same pen, probably with a design change and the feel and the different marketing strategy to communicate their product to the masses. Now, you as a consumer who had no options till now, like 120 years back, not many players, not many options. So we're not having so many options. But as you got a competitor in the market, you have a question now. How is this pen I'm using better than what the other pen offers? And let's be honest, everyone likes to change, everyone likes to try new stuff, and that's how the human mind works. So now businesses have a new challenge. The old approach of telling that we exist just got outdated. They have to compete to win you. And the only way to understand you is to understand you as a consumer. Understand what the consumers need and what they needed. What did the consumers needed if they needed a pen? They needed a pen that's smooth in writing, that's comfortable to hold, looks bright and shiny, and the ink dries quickly, right? That's the main motive. But once the brand owners used to understand that what their customers need, they have to design and innovate their product and communicate uniquely, creatively, and market themselves so that their consumers understand and says, oh man, this pen kept on the same shelf as 5 other pens is better for me. That's where creativity comes into play. Every pen is probably solving the same thing that other players were solving. But now, the game is about communication and visibility, which will make the business stand out after all. No matter what supply chain or whatever international products you had, if they did fail in communication, they failed in sales. As simple as that. Here's when sell me this pen actually got more aggressive. Businesses needed people who could understand and sell their pen with all the persuasion skills they have to their consumers. And marketers who could make a bull run to make them look better than their competitors. This era was the marketing era, the sales era, where they needed more than just the production, but a strategy that yelled, "Our pen is the best." This era was more about more players entering the market and the brands engaging in aggressive head-to-head battles to influence you. They went from ads that appealed to the masses, catchy slogans and jingles. You must have heard that Nirma's washing powder, Nirma, everyone remembers that, right? Because you will probably remember that because of the jingles and the marketing they have done for their product. And that has developed a perception of that brand in your mind. But again, what happened? Marketing grew businesses, businesses grew the economy, which created more jobs, more consumers in the market. To cater to those consumers, more businesses again came into the market. And yes, history repeated itself. Oh, come on! All the investments made to hire these celebrities, giving them crores of rupees to dance with a detergent powder in their hand, and you tell me that the consumer mindset changed. That would have been the most common statement by any of the, I can say, brand owners that time. The simple question was, what else do we do? What happened? The market got bored of vibing to these jingles and slogans only. And the consumers, you as consumers, needed something new. You had money to spend. You needed something that is more than just the product. Why did this happen? Because you and the rest of the consumers available in the market got all pampered with all these huge investments made in celebrities, hoardings, advertisements. All these investments these brands made were to convince you to choose them. Just recall at once. We started where the brands would just say, "We exist." Because less players, more monopolies, people have to choose you anyways. But again, this is the era where everything changed. You have to compete, the brand has to compete to win you and and to show that their product is better than their competitor, that other choices which you have. And as everything evolved over time, again, it needs an evolution, flux, transcendence. Now the customers have shifted. You said, you are making a song and telling me, washing powder Nirma, that you are telling me that your product is the best. I won't accept that. You tell me, I am the best. As a consumer, you demanded something which is apart from the product. I don't care about your product. You are telling that this product is a great product. You listen to the songs, create catchy slogans. I don't care about that. You tell me I am the best. If you convince me that I am the best, I will only buy your product. Give me a reason to buy your product. Tell me something that is more than just the functionality of the product. What is the purpose at the end of the day? Something more. As a brand owner, you go like, what? Seriously? I am selling a product. What else can I say more than its functionality overall? It's a dead end. Let me be very honest. Yeah, it was a very difficult nut to crack. So the brands that time, in between, they needed to shift from just the functionality of the product to how their product can make the consumers feel by having it. What other benefits can be gained by it from its use, and how it can cater to a different use case and connect with their customers by making them feel more superior and telling them what they should feel by owning your product or what the problem will the product solve. Now, let's get back to our buddy pen. I started with a pen. Now, rather than explaining the pen's features and making songs and jingles around it, they made an advertisement. Guess what? Where the person using the pen is a handsome model, flexing that pen out of his pouch, and when he or she starts writing, oh dear Lord, look at how cool and beautiful he looks, and he's able to write so fast compared to what other people with other pens can write. The pen is the reason you look handsome, the reason he gets all the girls, the reason he's happy and doing well in his life, and the reason he's living the life he wants, man. Guess what? Can your pen, this pen, Can your pen do anything of that sort? No, right? No. That's not a thing which can be created by a pen. Your life cannot be created by a pen. Still, no matter whatever features or whatever things you talked about, this ad with a handsome model will work 100 times better than the ad which talks just about the pen and its features. Because what happened? The information about the pen became secondary for the person because every other pen was doing the same thing, and how the pen makes the customer looks became primary. It was the era of selling aspirations. If brands can tell how they should feel after procuring your product, they'll buy it. All big brands, like especially luxury brands, are working on the same thing. That they only sell on this thing, right? That their product, luxury brands exist in the market because they sell aspiration and not just a product, right? And that's about the three main eras, my friend. To tell, I'll just recap a bit, to tell that we exist, to where the product has to stand out, and again, like they have to compete with their customers, they have to win you, to the third era, where you have to make your customers stand out if they own the product. And this is how marketing and branding sales has evolved over time. The answer couldn't be same for Sell Me This Pen 120 years back, in the middle, and today. But with the ever increasing influence of social media coming in, the history is going to repeat itself again. What's happening around? Just you all see a lot of content on social media, right? There has been a bombardment of content. Opinions and education is all around you available. Now you, as a consumers, slowly shift from just following the aspirations to actually consuming the product that promises that completes their promises and that are genuine in their promises which they make in their advertisements after all. Because what is happening is that the advertisements make towards a brand that is solving a problem with a vision and a story behind it. As we speak, I feel somewhere we are in the middle. Today the brand needs to look aspirational with all their SKUs and USPs. The brand needs to be well communicated, all the products and everything. Additionally, they also need to be very aggressive also with that they need to be very aggressive in investing to be the educators of the problem they are solving. And they need to look passionate, enthusiastic for the purpose overall rather than just making it sell. No matter whatever coming in, if a brand is genuine, adaptive, innovative, and after all they care about you, their customers, they are genuine, they are here to be. Thank you.